Hi guys, my name is Evangelos Focius, and this is my presentation on hockey. So let's go to the next slide. We talk about the origins of hockey and the where it came from and how it started. It started over 4,000 years ago as the first known reference to hockey, and then later more information came up during the 17th, 18th century in England, where they actually would play with about 100 people to 200 people on each team. The game could last almost a month. And the origins of hockey come from what they think was probably a form of field hockey before it ever even got on ice, which makes sense because not many people like playing on ice, especially before you have skates. So once I think they've mastered technology of skating, then it was way easier to make that jump from field hockey to ice hockey. The rules are pretty simple. Each team has 5 players on the ice. You have a goalie, and each goal is a 1 point. Most rules, there's a ton of rules in hockey, obviously, like any other sport, but for the most part, you can't hit from behind. You can't slash a guy, which is taking the stick and like smacking a guy with the stick. So, but there's little rules in there like that, and it's one of those things where you start playing, you learn them as you go. But for the basic part, there's a rule called icing, which means you cannot hit the puck into the other team's zone from more than 2 lines away, and also you cannot be in the goalie's crease when scoring. But there's so many rules. I don't know, I want to bore you down with all of them, but it's a pretty good sport. There's 3 main positions. There's your goalie, your defenseman, and your forwards. In the forward position are your attackers. They are the center guy is your center, and then you have the 2 wingers on the left and right, and then you have your defenseman, just defenseman, and obviously a goalie. The equipment needed in hockey, there's a lot of it. You have helmet, shoulder pads, arm pads, gloves, padded pants, shin guards, skates, and a stick. Now, you also have littler things like mouth guards and the tape for your stick and a cup and athletic supporters, stuff like that. Maybe rib guards, a lot of guys wear those. So there's more to it than just the basics, but the basics are there for you. Fighting in hockey is a big thing. Comes up every year. They talk about trying to get rid of it, but the support for fighting in hockey is too big. People love watching fights, and yes, it is allowed sort of in hockey. It's still penalized, but it's a 5-minute penalty, where in any other sport it gets you ejected. So I always thought that was pretty cool. The pros, there's pros now. It started with just 5 teams, and now it's a huge deal, stretching over Canada and the United States of America for the NHL. And they play for the Stanley Cup, which is a giant cup with all the teams that have won's names on it. It's pretty heavy. But at the end of the season, all you want to do is raise that and give it a big old kiss. Lastly, it's a world sport. In 1908, it was brought into the Olympics, and just about every team now has a hockey team. And these are the resources. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. Y'all have a good one.